Snapchat map got him. The absurd detective saga of a sick boyfriend's hotel hookup. Hey everyone, buckle up because my life just turned into a full-blown psychological thriller that I never saw coming. I'm still reeling from the discovery, and if you think you've seen it all, wait until you hear what happened with my sick boyfriend. Let me take you through this utterly ridiculous jaw-dropping roller coaster of betrayal, confusion, and more plot twists than a daytime soap opera. It all began on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday morning. I was still half asleep when I noticed a ping on my phone. A notification from Snapchat reminding me of the dreaded Snap Map feature. Normally, I'd never glance at it again after that one disastrous weekend, but something about today felt off. I hesitated for a moment, then reluctantly opened the app, and instantly my stomach dropped. There he was, or rather there it was, his glowing little Bitmoji pinned right on the map. But instead of being at home as he had told me while I was curled up in bed, it showed him chilling at a hotel, just 20 minutes away from where I live. I remember the exact moment like it was yesterday. My eyes widened, heart pounding as I double-checked his location, nearly expecting it to be a glitch. But no, the dot was there, stubborn and inescapable. I couldn't help but think, why did he forget to turn off Snap Map? The usual sweet lazy lie he threw at me, "I'm homesick, babe," came tumbling back in my memory. And now the evidence was glaringly contradicting his story. I spent the next agonizing hour playing detective, scrolling through his snaps and cross-referencing his location with timestamps. My inner monologue went haywire. Okay, so if he's at home, why is his Bitmoji at a hotel? Could he be sick and, by some miracle, check into a hotel room with a degree in medical mystery? Or is this all just an absurd accidental oversight? At that point, I called my best friend Jasmine, the unofficial queen of absurdities in our group, for a sanity check. Jasmine. Girl, you sound like you're auditioning for the next season of CSI, Relationship Edition. Me, I know, right? The guy said he was homesick, but his map says he's living it up at some fancy hotel. What if he's meeting someone, or worse, planning a secret getaway? Her voice over the phone shifted from humorous disbelief to full-on investigative mode. Honey, you need to confront him. Demand the truth. But be careful. Sometimes the truth is uglier than a clown convention. I ended the call feeling both empowered and terrified. How do you confront someone when every scenario imaginable feels like it's ripped right out of a psychological thriller? I decided to wait until the evening when his sickness would presumably kick in, making him even more vulnerable. I texted him a casual, "Hey, feel any better?" But inwardly my brain was racing through a million possible reasons for his location discrepancy. Fast forward to that fateful evening. He had been texting me like his phone was on fire, apologizing profusely for any inconvenience, and promising to come home later because I deserved him at his best. But the more he said, "I'm sorry," in between hyphenated breaths, the more I knew something was off. With every message, my internal detective's alarm kept ringing. By 9 p.m. I reached my breaking point and decided to confront him in person. When he finally arrived at my place, his usually charming smile was replaced by a jittery, almost panicky expression. I could see sweat glistening on his forehead, even though the season was supposed to be mild. I couldn't hold it in any longer. "Me, you're late and you smell weird, like overpriced hotel coffee mixed with regret. And please explain why your Snap Map said you were at a hotel when you swore you were homesick." For a moment, his eyes widened, and then his lips twitched into what I can only describe as a nervous smile. He stuttered something about catching a rare virus that made him feel disoriented and compelled him to leave home. But his voice cracked as he tried to piece together a story that made absolutely no sense. The dialogue that ensued could have rivaled any crime drama. Okay, listen. It wasn't planned. I really wasn't feeling well and I needed some fresh air. I didn't think I just... Me interrupting, voice raised. Fresh air? At a hotel? Don't you know that hotel air is reserved for people on vacation, not for the sick and sorry? Desperately, "I know how it sounds, babe, but I needed a place to rest. Our apartment feels too confining right now. Plus, I didn't want you to worry if you saw me looking like a zombie on the couch." I couldn't believe I was hearing this. His half-hearted explanation sounded more like a desperate attempt to cover up guilt. The absurdity was maddening. I clenched my fists, trying to maintain some semblance of calm while my brain raced through every possibility. Was I losing him to a newfound craving for hotel amenities and questionable fresh air? And what about his sudden gym membership he mentioned last week? Had he been using that as an excuse to sweat out some truth I wasn't prepared for? I took a deep breath and recounted every detail of my discovery, from the pinpoint of light on Snap Map to the conflicting emojis in his texts. I even pulled out my phone and displayed the map. The silence that followed was deafening. Him murmuring it. I didn't think it would be a big deal. It was just a quick check-in at the hotel. Me interrupting, incredulous, a quick check-in? Are you seriously telling me you checked into a hotel, claimed you were homesick and expected me not to notice? Was there a spa treatment discount I wasn't told about? At this point, my tone was laced with equal parts anger and disbelief. His eyes darted away, and it was then that I realized how deep this rabbit hole went. I needed the truth, no matter how absurd or twisted it was. After a long pause, he finally confessed. It turned out that he'd been juggling two lives. One in which he was the caring, homebound boyfriend, and another in which he was trying to reinvent himself as a mysterious wanderer. His new circle of friends from the gym had introduced him to a healthy lifestyle retreat concept, which admittedly sounded exciting until I connected the dots to the hotel stop. He had admitted to meeting someone there, not just a casual acquaintance but someone he felt an inexplicable, adrenaline-charged connection with. Him, voice trembling, "I never meant to hurt you. It all started as a minor escape, just to experience something new. I thought if I could just reinvent a part of me, maybe I wouldn't be stuck in the same mundane routine. But then one night led to another, and suddenly I was lying to you about being sick." I was shattered, a cocktail of betrayal and disbelief swirling inside me. Every fib, every dodged conversation over the past months suddenly crystallized into one insane moment of reckoning. I yelled, not knowing if I was more angry at his deceit or at myself for ever trusting him. So what now? Do you expect me to just download a new personality, one where I'm not smart enough to see through your lies? Or are you going to offer me an apology heavy enough to cancel out all this stupidity? He stuttered, trying to speak, but the words drowned beneath the tidal wave of my emotions. Our conversation spiraled into a volley of accusations and regrets. The dialogue between us became more surreal with every passing minute. I remember him pleading, "I didn't know it would get so out of hand," while I retorted, "Well, congratulations on turning your life into a Shakespearean tragedy." After what felt like hours of arguing, I left him alone in the living room, both of us trapped in a moment that defied logic and left us both emotionally raw. In the silence that followed, I grabbed my phone and documented every intricate detail of our conversation, turning my phone's note app into a therapy journal for the chaos that was my love life. In the days that followed, I started piecing together the fragments of my relationship like a detective going over a crime scene. I interviewed mutual friends in the manner of a nosy tabloid journalist, revisited old texts, and even confronted the so-called mysterious friend he had mentioned. Every conversation added layers to this absurd narrative, confirming that my boyfriend had crafted an elaborate web of half-truths and impulsive decisions fueled by the allure of the unknown. One evening, as I sat in a dimly lit cafe, I had an epiphany. I realized that I wasn't just a victim in this twisted game, I was a survivor. I began to see the whole situation in a new light, not as a failing relationship, but as an opportunity to reclaim my own narrative. I shared my story on Reddit as a cathartic release and as a cautionary tale for anyone who might one day find themselves ensnared in the labyrinth of modern dating and digital oversharing. And yes, I still check my Snap Map occasionally, but now I do it with a wry smile and a sardonic chuckle. Because in a world where secrets are only a tap away from exposure, sometimes the absurdity of it all is the only sanity you have left. To my ex, if you're reading this, I hope you find the clarity you're searching for. And to anyone else caught in a web of half-lies and overhyped hotel escapades, remember, sometimes a little digital slip-up can reveal the entire truth. Stay curious, stay cautious, and above all, stay true to yourself. This story may be as absurd as it sounds, but it's a testament to the chaotic beauty of trying to navigate love in the era of Snapchat maps and hotel getaways. A once devoted, now unshackled girlfriend. Feel free to ask questions, share your own wild stories, or commiserate with me in the comments below. This digital era may be absurd, but we're all in it together.